Yo, 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 visualize shark takes, hit the wave grinding. In the chat, gun shark odds make it rhyming. Sunday vibes, smooth bets, no confining. Hats engaged, can't stop us from shining. Bet on the spread, liking it, keep it tight. Push the odds further, jack on the hindsight. Odds fellows mind grasping the right sight. Hats, caps on heads, winners in plain sight. Hit the light, get in the chat, feel the flow, cash it. Every dollar, see the bankroll. Sunday grind and picks, now you gotta know. Extra points on the screen, sharp minds always glow. Big parlays, predictions, we home. Standing tall, betting knowledge all.
Yes, sir. We are back. Hit the horn. What's going on, everybody? It is a beautiful Thursday night. We have NFL football on the horizon with a good game here in the NFC West with the San Francisco 49ers going up against Seattle. But this is the Extra Point Show, Thursday Night Football edition. I am Guns Picks, of course. I am running solo today. Why? Because there's a hurricane going on. People lose power. People are just not prepared for the show today. But I digress. Show must go on. I am not in the eye of the hurricane. I'm sitting here on the outside looking in, looking at the weather reports and everything like that. But I got to give you the plays that paid the bills here on a beautiful Thursday. I need you guys to get into the chat. I'm going to talk to everybody today on this show. So I need people to bring the plays that pay the bills, and I will pull up your chat and answer any questions that you have. Listen, it doesn't have to be NFL. It can be college football as well. Could be baseball. We can talk about a little bit of everything today because we have ourselves a beautiful slate of sports tonight on a Thursday. And Peter Grozny in the chat joining us today. Saying, hope those guys are safe. Yes, sir. I did talk to him today. Everything is all good, all gravy. And yeah, I don't know if they've lost power or anything like that. I haven't heard from Shark in a while, so don't know what is going on in his world, but I hope he's okay wherever he is out in the FLA land. But let's talk a little bit of NFL here. We have Thursday Night Football here with San Francisco 49ers going up against Seattle. Lumen Field, Seattle, Washington is the spot. 8:15 is the kick. And we got Sam in the chat saying Royals or Yankees. I do like a total instead on that one. And I believe I took the under. Yes, I took the under in that game. Listen, if you look at the road splits between Cole at home versus away, under pitcher all day long, and he's going against Waka. I think this is going to be another pitcher duel that, like we saw yesterday. They're going to grind it out. I don't want to pick a winner on this one, but I will pick a total on this one. I think it goes under the total. Peter Gracia saying again, the Extra Point Show means extra dough for the people. Give him a little cha-ching for that one. I think that was a cha-ching. There we go. Change my buttons around a little bit, so I got to digress on this one. But let's talk a little bit about this game and see where these teams are coming from. You have San Francisco lost 3 out of the last 4, 2-3 on the year with a plus 100 net yard average, plus 4 point differential. Doesn't make sense with the record of the net yard average and their point differential for that matter. And then you have Seattle off back-to-back losses to Detroit on Monday Night Football and the New York Football Giants last night. They're 2-3 on the year with a plus 1 point differential, plus 65 net yard average on the year. And despite the recent losses from the San Francisco 49ers, they have won the net yardage battle in 4 out of their last 5 games. They are ranked 10th in offensive scoring, 2nd in offensive yards per play, and 2nd in offensive yards per game. And Seattle is on the 3rd leg of a 3 games in 11 days. And I talked about this on the Sunday show. I told you to take the Giants. The Giants won outright. Told you to take the points and sprinkle on the money line, and I was right. Cash that ticket there. But let's talk about this. This Seattle team is going into this game sluggish. 3 games in 11 days is brutal in the NFL. So expect some fatigue. And plus their defense, if you look at the injury report, a lot of banged up bodies, especially in the secondary and the linebacker core in that game. And then you got a Seattle team that's 3-2 on the year, and their wins unimpressive in my opinion. They played Denver. Denver good now. However, they're playing a rookie quarterback in the first game, and it was in Seattle. And then you had the other 2 wins against the New England Patriots. You know how bad that team is. My New England Patriots. and they played a Miami team without Tua. So how good are those wins for Seattle? And when they played a step up in class, and we're talking about the Detroit Lions on the road, they lost by 13 points. And then Seattle has faced what is considered and ranked the 31st toughest schedule in terms of Massey ratings. And then you look at San Francisco on this one. They face a 26th toughest schedule, but they have better offensive and defensive numbers than Seattle does. Also, look at San Francisco. When they play Seattle, they play well. 5-0 straight up, 4-1 ATS versus Seattle since 2022. This, to me, indicates a San Francisco line, if you got them favored here on the road. They're more rested, coming off the loss to Arizona, so they got that blood in the back, taste back in their throat. 2 losses in division. You don't want to lose a third here, and I don't think they're going to do it here. You got a Seattle team that is just limping into this game, trying to crawl themselves into a bye or just a little bit of rest for that matter. This team is sluggish. That's why you're seeing San Francisco favored here. So San Francisco minus 3.5 is the only way to go on this one from a size standpoint. But let's talk about the total. You got to look at the San Francisco offense. Like I said, second in offensive yards per game and yards per play, 7th in rushing yards per game, 4th in passing yards per game, 10th in offensive scoring. On the Seattle offense, 7th in offensive yards per game, 7th in rushing yards per carry, 3rd in passing yards per game, 11th in offensive scoring. You're seeing where I'm going with this. Now, when these teams meet, the under is 3-1-1 in the last 5 matchups, but the totals in those games were 44, 45, 45 and a half, 40 and a half, 43 and 42. Now you're seeing the total here in the next matchup, 49 and a half, 48 and a half, depending on what book you're getting it at right now. And then you have Seattle, 4-1 to the over this season, 3-2 to the over for San Francisco this year. And then I just expect a lot of points in this one solely because, one, you have 2 great offenses that can score back and forth. You have a Seattle team defensively that is just on its last leg. They got to be gassed in this one. If they're going to play anything of productive defense in this game, it might be early. But I think as we get later in the game, we're going to see a lot of scoring in this one. The 3-day game gauntlet, giving up 29 points to the Giants, 42 points to Detroit. And you got a San Francisco team that's just better offensively. They're top 10 in most statistical categories in offense. I just think this is an over all day long. I know Seattle can score, and San Francisco definitely can score. So, yeah, the over is the only play I do on this one. 48.5, 49. I love it here. So give me the over in the game as well. So San Francisco side, over on the game. Let's talk some props. In case you didn't watch the prop gun on the Gunspicks channel, make sure you go check that out. I do a full breakdown, but guess what? I'm going to give the breakdown to you again if you've seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you're going to see it for the first time here on the Extra Point Show. San Francisco ranked 23rd against defending tight ends this season. They're giving up to tight ends 4 receptions per game, 48 yards per game, 5.4 targets to the tight ends that they have faced this season. And I'm referring to George Kittle in this spot here. 4 out of the 5 tight ends that Seattle has seen have had their best performances of the year versus Seattle. Then you have George Kittle averaging 6 catches per game, 56.3 yards per game, receiving 7 targets per game as well. And then you got, like I said, that fatigue is going to carry over here, not only from the Giants game, but also in this short week with Seattle. They got key injuries in the linebacker corps and in the secondary. There's full safeties hurt. 2 of their linebackers are hurt. They may or may not play in this game, and I think there's a couple guys in the secondary that are out for this game. Then you got to just think Kittle just performed well versus Seattle statistically. Go back and look at 2022 and 2023. He's performed very well in these spots, and Brock Purdy has used him in a crutch in a lot of key situations here. I don't want to take any time touchdowns. That's not my game. That's not my bag. I like receiving attempts. I like rushing attempts, rushing overs, rushing unders, and same thing with receivers here. So I like Kittle in this one, 48.5. I think this is the perfect spot for him. Also, I'll give a lean on a couple of these props that I liked. I just didn't get to the window there. Look at Tyler Lockett over receiving yards as well. I think this is a perfect spot with him. If you look at slot receivers in this game, granted, he kind of splits around the slot position with Jackson Smith. but I think he's going to have a big game here. The if you look how the 49ers perform against slot receivers, a lot of big numbers end up occurring with those receivers specifically. They end up shutting down the main receiver for the most part, so I wouldn't take any props on their big receiver there for Seattle. That's for a reason my brain is scrambled right now to even figure out his name at this point, but I digress. I think Tyler Lockett is probably going to get a lot more catches in this one. He's got a lot of looks. Especially in the last game, if you look at his numbers there, Geno Smith has really used him as a crutch in a lot of key situations, especially third downs. I think there's going to be big numbers here coming from them today, and there's going to be just a lot of passing, I believe, in this game. So I lean towards the over on passing yards too, probably from both quarterbacks in this one too, Geno Smith and Brock Purdy. I would probably lean towards the over on their passing yards, less on the run in this game. So those are the leans that I have, but the official play, I'm just going to look at Kittle on the over 48.5 receiving yards, because let's just continue the trend that Seattle cannot defend the tight end. All right, let's talk about some other stuff here. All right, yeah, Christopher Boucher says, what do you think about the first half? Depends on what the line is. I'd have to see what it's weighted. So I would say this about the first halves. This is just something that I normally use as a tool here. So if you see the line at 3.5 and you see the San Francisco's favored like 2.5, take the first half. But if you're seeing it kind of split in half, like a 1.5, even like a 2, because I think the line's at like 3.5 or something like that, you may see the line shift to 4, hypothetically. You want to get the line right around 57 to 60% of the total game spread to take a first half. That's just kind of a key that I use when I take first halves. If it goes way over the 60%, that is a must take on the first half. We use that in college football all the time. Those are the spots you look for. Just check the spread, look at the first half. It gives you an indicator that what the game is going to be. It's like you're going to see this team start out fast and these other teams start out slow. Maybe a backdoor in the back end. But that's how I would look at this game, is look at the first half. I haven't looked at the number on this one. I don't have it in front of me, but if it is like around 57 to 60% of the entire game spread, take the first half, San Francisco, and don't take the dog. The only place to go with this one is San Francisco or pass. Any other questions we got? We got college football here tonight. We got some baseball. Of course, we already talked a little bit about baseball. I like the under in the New York Yankees game here tonight, with Walker on the mound and Garrett Cole on the mound. But that is it. That's all I got for today. Those are the picks to recap for everybody that missed it. Let's go San Francisco minus 3.5. Full game. We're going to go the over here with San Francisco and Seattle. Whatever number that you get. 48.5, I believe, is what is kicking around now. And then I got George Kittle at 48.5 on his reception yards at minus 113. But you can just grab that now. And then Eric says, yes, Yankees under. Let's go. Hit the horn. And if you give me the live number on this one, I don't know what the live number is on the Guardians and Tigers, but I like the Tigers today, even on the plus. And because there's just too many people on Cleveland today, and the Olsen, who's the pitcher there, has a pretty good game. Like when he's on the mound, at least from the regular season standpoint, of course, postseason, entirely different animal. Did pretty well. I think he won 8 straight or something like that when he was on the bump. I know Tanner Bybee has done very well for them, but he was kind of like wishy-washy, kind of coin flippy towards the end of the season. But that's why I like getting a nice little short dog number there with Detroit. And Detroit's just one of the hotter teams in baseball right now, along with the Mets and the Padres. So I like the over too. I don't know what the over is right now live, but I took the over at 6.5 today. And we're 1-1 in the fourth. So it's going to be a little bit of a grind getting to well, if we get to the bullpens here, maybe even the Cleveland side, and it's 1-1 right now, we may have a shot at this one. But I like the over here at 6.5 with Cleveland and Detroit, and the under today. I think I got it at under 8 was the number that I got for the New York Yankees versus the Kansas City Royals. And I'm praying to Lord baby Jesus that the Yankees lose today. Why? I'm a Red Sox fan, and this is my favorite holiday. There's Thanksgiving, and when the Yankees get kicked out of the playoffs or the regular season, whatever. Those are the two holidays that I love. And I hope that holiday comes soon because that's my Christmas. When the Yankees lose and they're out of the playoffs, it's the best. I want them to get an 86-year drought. I'm sorry, Yankees fans. You stink. And I hate the Yankees. And I love it when they lose. And I love it that I've seen 4 Red Sox championships where you have seen 1 in that span. From 2003 on. You've seen 1. We've got 4. So eat it, Yankees fans. Anyways, I digress. That's going to do it here for the show. Join me on Friday. We're going to do the college football, Knowledge for College. Shark will be back, hopefully. He told me he was this morning. We'll see if that happens. I will double check on that one. But we're still going to give the plays that pay the bills on Knowledge for College, 7 p.m. East, live here on the Gunsmiths channel and on the Shark Waters Nation channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to both. And the NFL show will be recorded. Why? Because I'm going to not be here. I'm going to a wedding on Sunday, but I'm still going to do a show for you guys. Just going to be pre-recorded and released 10 a.m. on Sunday per usual. So go check that out as well. The Extra Point Sunday Football Show. We have been killing the NFL in the last 3 weeks. I mean, dominating the NFL. So that's why you need to stick with the channel. Of course, check out the prop plays. Primetime prop plays will be out as well. Going to do Sunday. I'm going to do Thursday, and I'm going to do Monday Night Football. We're on a 5-1 streak going into the night. Let's make it 6-1 with the Kittle over 48.5. I'm out of breath. I'm ready for some football. Before we end, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's cash some tickets. Let's dominate the board. And as always, let's keep dancing.